Good afternoon. Welcome to your 1-hour current affairs program. It is a weekly current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria, where we dissect national issues. On today's show, we'll be looking at a very, very crucial issue that is giving cause for concern, and it has to do with the issue of insecurity. It is believed that any country that has a negative reputation of insecurity cannot develop, because investors will be scared away, and even the citizens who intend to invest will be scared. They might just leave the country, they might not invest in that country because of the problem of insecurity. So we're looking at other matters arising, best approach to tackling insecurity. In Edo State, in Benin City, where we broadcast, there's been recent problems that has to do with insecurity. But the joy is that the Edo State Commissioner of Police and of course His Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, have assured residents of adequate security, and measures have been put in place to tackling insecurity. Well, my name is Egosa Agbonlaho, welcoming you to this week's edition of the program. Our very distinguished personalities with me on set today. I have a distinguished man of God, a man of God who is able to comment on very crucial national issues. Apostle Elvis Agbonaima, nice to have you today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. We also have with us a lecturer, Dr. Maxwell Osage. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Okay. We have a veteran media consultant and of course a politician, Frank Irabo. Nice to have you. Isaac Irabo, pardon me. Isaac Irabo.
That's okay.
Nice to have you on set today. Okay, so we'll get started on the program. Best approach to tackling insecurity. We'll start with the lecturer in our midst, and that's Dr. Maxwell Osage. Yes, looking at this issue of insecurity, what's your take on it?
Thank you, Ewosa. Viewers at home, good afternoon. Yeah, when we say insecurity, the fact is so clear that not only have we been affected by the ravaging effect of those that one way or the other find themselves doing this thing,
Okay.
But it's so unfortunate that we allow ourselves to be used either by emotions or by way of the way the body reacts to us.
Okay.
But more often than not, you cannot take the fact out of the whole issue, because what has contributed to all these things that we talk about today is as a result of the way the government, who are actually saddled with the responsibility to create the free environment for people to do business, for people to go about their normal duty, has actually one way or the other encouraged this insecurity. And to me, it's actually a worrisome issue.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Let's get a thought of Apostle Elvis Agbonaima. Looking at insecurity, what do you think is the best approach to tackling insecurity?
Thank you very much. What has happened in terms of insecurity, let's talk about those State now in picture.
Okay.
You know, some of our parents have really failed us and the guardians, because a lot of parents have not really played their part.
Okay.
Because most of these young ones that are involved in this crisis, these evil acts, they come from the home. And again, landlord and landladies has also been guilty of a lot of offense.
Okay.
For example, I remember many years ago, before you enter a house, to rent a house, they want to know what you do, and they want to know, the kind of friends you keep. They look at you hardly before they will give you their house. But now, a lot of landlord and landlady, what they are interested in, if you can pay any amount, they give you house.
Okay.
They don't care the kind of friendship, the kind of things you do, and unknown to them that they think what we have seen now. That's why everybody is suffering it now.
Yes.
you know, for me, I think it is high time all of us have to wake up. You know, we should stop complaining, you know, always lamenting, accusing the government. The government cannot do it alone.
Okay.
The body of Christ, which I belongs to too, has a major role to play. For example, I think in every community there are churches. I think the clergyman has to come out now. Okay. For example, we almost all the community now we have a, you know, vigilante group. Yeah. What are those men of God doing? For example, in my community, the vigilante group there, they are my friends. I have a way of encouraging them. Okay. And that is what we need to do now. Because if, for example, if the churches in a particular community, the men of God, the shepherd there, decide to invite this, you know, vigilante group and begin to encourage them in one way or the other, no matter how little it might be, which I'm doing in my community. Okay. Now, you discover that even graduates want to be part of it. Because if the take-home is encouraged, for example, if I'm doing program now, I call them, they are out. Because if the community where you are pastoring is not secure, your members cannot even go to church. Therefore, we all have a major role to play. You know, I think last year, I know what was happening in my community. And when I discovered that this set of people came out, and I encouraged them, and to date, our church, by the grace of God, we are encouraging them. And sometimes I call them, have you not gone to Mrs. Church? I went there, they didn't allow me to see the pastor. I think this time, the churches around in different communities, we should not just be talking about government. Government is doing their best. We as church, as landlord and landlady, we as, you know, parents has a major role to play. We should not just say government alone, because when you throw stone to the market, it can hit anybody.
I agree.
You know, I think.
Thank you. We'll come back to you, but I think Apostle Elvis has given a different dimension to this topic today, and he has actually taken us down memory lane, where landlords and landladies actually sometimes they demand passports of tenants. They want to know what the tenant is doing, or what the tenant, the kind of relation, kind of family comes from, and probably the state of origin. They collect data, but that is no longer happening. I think that's another dimension. Then we must also commend the state government. Recently, we've seen how there is encouragement for vigilantes. It's being reawakened. We saw vigilantes inaugurated in a particular community recently, and we've seen the effort, we've seen the success. And the CP at those state has also commended sister security agencies for their support. Only today, there was a show of force, you know, patrol, joint patrol involving the military, the police, and other sister security agencies to actually assure residents that they will secure lives and property. That's a good one for the Commissioner of Police Edo State, Johnson Kokumo, for what he's doing. Okay, let's get the thought and comments of Mr. Isaac Irabo, a media consultant.
Thank you very much, Rosa. I first would like to say that the police is your friend. Okay. Because he's the public safety officer. Yeah. Actually, basically, in more advanced countries, you have the policeman and the fireman. Yeah. Because these are people who can quench fire on both sides, yeah, whether it's a human fire or it's a property fire. So they're supposed to be your friends. In them days, you had a situation where people were quite antagonistic towards the police. Because the police is the man that they see expresses or exposes the use of force in the community. When those days we were young, very young, yeah, in New York, there was this thing against the black community. Okay. I lived in Harlem. I went to college in Harlem. Okay. And they were bringing white policemen with dogs Any little thing, the white man brings the drug into the community, and he uses his police. So it didn't work. That's how this whole idea of individuals taking up arms against the police. They just kept killing and killing and killing. So these guys had to wrestle some guns. They bought the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution allows you to bear arms. That's why when you want to use your arm against someone else, of course you have to be very sure, because I also have a right to bear arms. So all the same, if the police will play ball, the individuals will play ball. The individuals, as a citizen, is usually a cool-headed person who wants to get a job, wants to go to school, all the things that we want to do, the common man would like to do it. Also the policeman. See, policeman, like I said, is a safety officer. Yeah. As a matter of fact, the policeman is the best public safety officer than the army or the air force, all the big words that you have. You know, wanting to use fire, like we saw at the Lekki. You know, so it's the police that has the power. Police can arrest anyone. The military probably can make an arrest and report to the police. So the people who are really constituted by the Constitution to enforce the law on behalf of the crown, when you had a crown, but now we have a presidential system.
Yeah, exactly. So, in the case of Nigeria.
Exactly. So the truth is that the individual in the community, that's the individual citizen,
the resident,
is not happy. He doesn't have a job. It's not easy to get food. The most basic things are not available. But even when they are available, they are in scarce rations. Okay. So the point I really want to quickly make is that it's both sides. It's still the government. So when the government at the apogee, at the highest level, decides, because we're supposed to be running a federation, but you know we're not running no federation. There's no federation. If you give these governors powers, you give the municipal councils, you give them power. In America, basically, it is at the municipal council.
Okay. Mr. Azira, we'll come back to you, but let's get the thoughts of Dr. Maxwell Osage. Now, you talked about the issue of government creating an enabling environment for business to strive, and you believe that if government creates an enabling environment and we have business concerns, we have business interests, we have companies, I think you're trying to talk about youth employment, youth empowerment. Is that the point you're trying to make?
Yeah, thank you, Awosa. Okay. I want to appreciate you for trying to dive into what I'm already envisaging to the solution of what we see today that has become norm. Indeed, insecurity has become norm. But one thing, now when you listen to police, I want to be blunt a bit. And we also try to look at statistics or history one way or the other, so that we can put into proper perspective how we can, one way or the other, get a kind of a better recommendation that could aid each and every one of us. Yes, indeed, I would differ a bit from what my bishop just said just now, Apostle said, that government, we shouldn't be blaming government. My brother, I won't lie to you. The crisis you see today is orchestrated by government, not only orchestrated by government.
Is it at the federal level, state level?
When I'm talking about government right now, I'm talking about all the arms of government. Now, are we federal level or federal, state, down to local government, including other arms of government, such as the judiciary and legislative aspect of it.
Okay.
But let's take, for example, now we've seen crime metamorphose into a more advanced form in this part of the world, the developing country like Nigeria. But if you look at when this police thing started, it started as a paramilitary something back then before even the amalgamation. Now, in 1820, when the first, in quote, police started, it started as a paramilitary in different geopolitical regions and everything. Then before Lagos came in, down to 1930 where we began. Now, from that time till now, we have a well-structured, in quote, in terms of federal aspect of it, we have a well-structured police system. Now, if you look at it, it's subdivided into 7. In the federal, you have the administration, the logistic, the finance, that in terms of operational administrative modules. Now, if you break it down, they have 12 regions in terms of zone 5, zone that, comprising of 2, 3 more states. Recently, we saw when they created one in Bayelsa. The same way, if you bring it down a bit, you find out that we also have commissioner of police in the 36, including now, the further broke it down, we now have what do we call area command. Down to the deep, all those DPO center and everything. Now, but the question is this. The question is this. Now, if you look at this structural tendency of the police force, have we so far gotten the result that is supposed to be gotten from this structure? No. Now, in as much as we also understand that crime has metamorphosed into more advanced form, we have actually not seen police force restructuring to meet this trend. Rather, they stick to the old method and continue with the old method. Now, why will crime not increase? When the people who we elected to say, okay, take care of us, give all this police all the legal requirement, the finance and everything, and if you are not doing that, how do you expect a police officer who is earning 40,000 or 30,000 that you will not even pay in 6 months because they can't cry out? How do you expect such person not to go to the road and collect money from armed robber, and armed robber will carry his own gun and pass? Now, the same way, you are blaming the landlord that is giving...
I will interject, you continue.
Okay.
But we must say that we've not really seen a situation where policemen or policewomen have not been paid. From what we hear, they are being paid.
That's government.
Yes, they are being paid. And they are expected to be role models. They are expected to be, exemplary in their actions.
Being paid what?
Okay. So we'll come back so you can continue now. I needed to
thank you.
That.
Now, I want to dwell a bit on what you just said, the expository you gave on that. I love what Daddy just said. Being paid what? Now, because the money we use in servicing political offices, or the money we use in pursuing electionary processes, do you see that in any institution trying to revive such institution like the police force? Impossible. But when you hear election today, the money we don't have, the billions of naira we don't have, they will spend it. But the policeman is right there in his unit. There is no car to answer the emergency call of an armed robber robbing in the next street. And you expect such person to be happy? How? Government is everything as far as I'm concerned. Because take for instance, if government is actually sincere, we want to be like the world. Egosa, take it or you leave it. If you pick up your phone, if you have a house in America, you can view it from here. Can you view your house from here? Impossible. Now, if you can view your house from Nigeria in America from here just by technology, and at the end of the day, what makes you think that if anything happens there, somebody will not be able to trace that person? Now, we just have a system where we continue to do the same thing over and over again. We expect to get a different result. How will that happen? Now, you can't blame a parent or blame a landlord that gave a house to somebody. Over the years, yes, he has been doing that. He has been helping government. How long are we going to continue to help the same government that collects from you every day? Now, these are things we need to put into proper perspective. We spend our money, generate our fund, we buy fuel for ourselves, we do everything, you do, in fact, at the end of the day, the same man you are expecting, let me just tell you, the fact is clear. He was talking about vigilante. I coordinate vigilante in my community, both in the full community and the one in my street. And I'm the one coordinating it. Even, I don't want to go in details. I don't want to go in detail. So, but more often than not, recently we caught an armed robber, about 5 of them in the night. I was there. That night we all came out, we caught one. But even when we called the police force, even when the background was noisy and everything, come by 3, we called somebody. They came after 6 the following morning. That same morning. Now the point is this, don't blame them. One way or the other, they may have said, okay, fine. Is it that there is no fuel? Is it that the car is down? And those that are, see, these people cannot complain because they are under authority. They can't cry out.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah, they can't cry out.
We'll come back to you, but I think you've made your point.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, let's get the throw up. So, yes, how do we really tackle this? Because it's become a menace now.
Serious.
Insecurity is a menace.
You know, when I started, when I said, I was talking about, you know, how the church should be able to play their part. I am not speaking for the government. One thing, if we continue to lament, you will not get any result. We know that the police force has not been well taken care of. They are not anywhere. We know. But, you know, let's look at what is happening in those states now. Everybody has a major role to play. For example, you know, it's not the police force that, inflames a particular charge to go and join a particular court, and now they are killing themselves. You get the point I'm talking about. You know, parenting, you know, there's what we call foundation. There are some people now who cannot join court because the foundation, because he's not the kind of father, the kind of mother. If you join court, even if they get you arrested, he will not come to bail you. Even if he bail you, he will allow you to suffer. But there are people that, because there are people that join court together because they know they do everything they want to do, they commit public nuisance because they know that they are backup. That the father, the mother, that is the point I'm trying to say. And I remember those days, like I was saying the other time, that if you want to rent a house, you know, the landlord want to know the kind of person that want to rent the house. But this time, for many years now, this area is no longer put into construction. Nobody cares, nobody can pay. That is the point. I'm not saying that the government has done well. No, we are aware, but I don't want us to be lamenting. Okay, let's save the situation first. Let's move forward. That is the point. Because I discovered that most of these vigilante group in different community, before they get the little pen, you know, the little money they ask for, sometimes people will humiliate them. Like you said, you know, you can testify that many persons who are supposed to join you because they risky job, sometimes they even discourage you. Am I correct, sir? You know, that is the thing. You know, I'm trying to, like, on our own, we know the government has a lot to do. Our expectation, they have not done it, we know. But on our own, we should be able to do so many things. We should not just lament and not doing anything.
Citizens must contribute.
Yes.
I think that's the point.
That is the point. I'm trying to bring that. That's the point, because, you know, a lot of churches, men of God, I respect them, God bless them, but I discovered that when it comes to security of their community, many of them, okay, I don't care attitude. And I'm not to them, they don't respect government. Yes, everything. In America, why America became America that everyone wants to go today. Everybody, citizens of America are always thinking what they will do for America. But in Nigeria, we are thinking of what the country, the government will do. The government will do. Listen, we know the government has a lot to do, but we also have our part to play. You get it now? Yes. You know, for example, you know, I talk about parents.
Yes.
I said when I was talking just now, there are some home. If you bring something to the house that they didn't give you, you will explain.
That's true.
That was how
it used to be. Yeah.
You get it now? That is how we grew up. Now, but now as you speak, you can just come home. In short, some of the parents will say, don't you see your mate?
That's your mate that is doing something wrong.
Wrong. Don't you see your mate?
Yeah.
And I remember those days when you are following bad gang. By the grace of God, I think I understand a little of parenting. Yes. I was 10 years in marriage yesterday. Yes. Now,
congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
You know, at least I've been there for 10 years. Yes. Now, but you see me, I look like someone who is
exactly.
Now, it's God's grace. Now, I remember those days, the way we grew up, if you are following bad gang, you know, your parents, they will deal with you. You will hide that relationship. But now, do you know that because of the failure in parenting, when you are falling back down, people that their ways are not clear, they are even celebrating you that my son, you know, some people tell you, I will call my son for you. And unknown to them that this thing will grow. It is the growth that we are seeing now. Yeah. Because someone that joined court, the time will come, he want to do something else. Yes, the government has failed. Is it government that influence you to go and join court?
Okay.
I do get it now. Yeah, now, the point I'm still saying, sir, the church, we all have a lot of role to play.
Okay. We'll come back to you, Apostle. You've made point. Let's also get the comments of Mr. Isaac Irabo. Now, you have talked a lot in terms of what happens in developed climes, but let's localize it now. Now, we've seen insecurity in Edo. Do you think it is the recent protests that created this problem? Do you really think so? Or you think the youths have a right to actually demand what they want, but probably it was hijacked by hoodlums or hijacked by other people?
You're talking about the contemporary thing, right? But it's what you saw blew up recently is a suppressed malaise in our society over a very long period of time. You see, that's why it just exploded like that. Because I'm thinking of, in our local parlance, say, Edo Yuma,
what does that mean?
You know, what it means is that we are all, we are complaining about different things. You know, maybe the same thing. You know, I don't have money, I don't have job, no industry, the politician is stealing, the government doesn't know what it's doing. For 1-2 years in this country, when the the government came up, there was really no direction, so to speak. Safe to say, at least our president was ill. So, Almighty God. But you see, all these things that are happening now, like the young man has said, the reverend gentleman, they've been with us. Even the one we want to gravitate towards now, which is the local policing, citizen police, community police, it's been on. It's not a today thing. You know what I'm saying? You see, when something goes on, and I also give you a little idea about how the U.S. handled this. You just read a book or books, reserve library books, on the role of the police. All over the world, there's a police system because it protects you. Now we're complaining police is bad, blah, 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 blah. But everybody is crying now for police to come back because your life is not safe. Mine is not safe. You know, people just break into people's place now. No places now. No, if only where there are police, there's no police. And if you have, they won't come. I came in from Lagos a few days ago. From here all the way to Lagos and back, there's no policeman on the road.
No, but that has changed.
But
that has changed now.
I'm talking in 3 days.
They've come up.
In 3 days, don't protect yourself. Your spirit.
No, they've come out.
But all the same, they should come out. It is in our best interest that the police should come out.
Yes, they are people.
You know what I'm saying? Not because they are being paid, no. They are paid peanuts. They are paid peanuts. You go to a police station, see the policeman.
Now, let me
that's the problem you put.
No, let me interject.
You don't want to hear the truth.
No. You are making your point, but I want to narrow it down. How do we tackle this problem? To you,
to do what is right.
So I want you to tell us that what is right.
Let's start.
The best approach now
the best approach.
Yes.
The best approach starts from the politician who contests election.
Okay.
You have a senator, you have a member House of Representatives, you have a governor, and top of it all, you have the president.
Yeah. So what do you want them to do that they've not done?
Oh, they should do what they're supposed to do. If you employ a man, give him his wage. He'll behave a little better.
The issue of salaries.
The
issue of salaries. Before you continue, I must, because people are watching. The issue of salaries.
But then the people know what I'm saying.
Yes, President Buhari publicly admitted that the issue of the police that is aware, the issue of wages. There's a body that have been tasked with that to review it upwards, you know. And when the IG came here, when he came to Benin, he addressed the police officers. He told them those who had issues during the protest will be promoted. Even those who lost their lives will be promoted.
Yes.
You know? So, I want you to tell us, what's the best approach to tackling security? I want to hit the nail on the head.
You know, it's the best approach.
Yes.
First and foremost, you say there's this saying that you better pay the cook than pay the doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, for my TV.
Yes, okay.
The police himself is the man at the grassroots. That constable at the grassroots is the man, is our friend. The big man has no time for you. They are busy fixing things. Somebody broke somebody's head. That woman knows the IG. They caught whose head was broken. But when you encourage this man at the base, even though you don't believe.
So you're not talking about issue of salaries now?
No salaries.
Okay, what about things?
They are fringe benefits. You are just talking about salary. You train a policeman's daughter or child. That's a fringe benefit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The
welfare.
The welfare. That's the thing.
Okay.
Take care of the man at the grassroots.
Yes.
Take care of that. The police-citizen relationship.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All it. We have one in my community, at first Insecurity, the SEG police station. There are no hounds. When you have issues, even the DPO will tell you, whoever the new tenant in your house get his data particulars. And we're holding meeting at SEG police station. Yeah, but when you call people here, call a political meeting here. If you don't have something on the ground, no food, no drink, no money at the end of the day to go home. I'm telling you, I'm an organizer myself. Yeah. So the same thing. Will the DPO go and spend his money to buy this thing for anybody? You see, we are not facing these things. You know what I'm saying? You know, if there is money for security, spend that money for security. The governors, listen, the governors get huge tantamount amounts of money.
Security votes, is that what you're talking about?
Listen, whatever you call it.
Okay.
Nigeria is serious about it. The money has been invested on it, but the governors will consume those such money themselves. As the commissioner of police, because I was in government, Shomale's time. They hold a security meeting there in government house from time to time. Ask the policeman how much it takes home. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So these things are there. Yes. Do what is right. You remember how I started? Yes. I said, do what is right. Okay. Let the president, it's under the executive arm of government. Yeah. Policing, I hope I'm correct. No, yeah. It's the president, and there is a...
Thank you, Mr. Isaac Grabo. You've made very valid points. And I think if I will summarize what Mr. Isaac Grabo has actually talked about, he talked about oiling the wheel of progress. In the local palace, that's what they call it.
Whatever you want to call it.
Wheel of progress. Yes. So he is saying that
the police also enjoy it.
Community police relations in different communities, the government should carry them along. I think that's the point.
Yeah. The money is made available.
The welfare of police officers should be enhanced. Maybe scholarship for children of the police. Yes. You know, that has just happened in Lagos State. Governor Sanwo-Olu has offered scholarship to the children of diseased policemen.
Yes, because they request it.
Yes, Dr. Baswell.
At the point I want to clarify with what Aida Statement just said is this. Let's be practical. Okay. How long are we going to continue to be reactive rather than being proactive? Okay. Now we have a government or a system that is reactive rather than being proactive. Must we wait for something to happen before we look for solution?
That's a valid one.
I'm worried as an individual because as a person, I try to solve problem before the problem gets to where I am.
Anticipate.
Ask about me anywhere in my place of work. I try to solve. I anticipate what may likely happen tomorrow. I don't like my table filled up with job. I spend time, I clear my table today so that I want to have peace tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, having said that, sir, you use the word that the president said is aware. Sir, did we just bring the president from Canada to come and rule us today? Has he not been aware from the onset the lamentation or the problem or
the policeman?
The entire structure of the police system that is really not giving us result before today? Well, why not coming out to say, I am aware? Okay, you are aware. For how long now? I knew when that statement was made. You were aware. Since when? Thank God we have a wait-and-see governor in this state where he doesn't tell you I'm aware. Suddenly you wake up and you see something. The same way I expect, I want to believe, one way or the other, moving forward, solving the insecurity issue in this country or in Edo State. If, just like you heard governor recently, when he made statement that I can't be a governor and I do not have right over my commissioner of police. Now, how do you expect such person to give a command? Then the IG will not give a different command. Certainly, the commissioner of police will respect the IG command compared to the one.
But that's a constitutional issue.
Yes, the constitutional issue. Yeah. So that's why, because if you listen to Ekwe Remandu, who was the deputy Senate president in the 8th Assembly, you know, he was saddled that particular position as a deputy governor. You are saddled with the responsibility of leading the committee of amendment to constitution. Now, on that ground, you heard them even when they were working in the 8th Assembly to make sure that the police is well restructured. Fine, the structure that we have in federal government, I wouldn't fault it, that's federal government. Yeah. But can we have a system where a state, now, when you hear sheriff in advanced country, sheriff is domiciled in a locality. Yes. Now, if I have a policeman in my locality, he knows everybody. He knows 419, he knows who goes to work, he knows who does petite stealing. Now, if we have a structure where police become a community thing, yes, I understand they just graduated almost about 700 constable to move into community police. But is that the restructure of the community policing? No, because what we are doing is like carrying a new wine, putting it in an old bottle, because it's still the same police structure. It's still the same federal government structure. Now, the president said, I am aware, when a politician wants to create a bill that will favor him, it doesn't take 2 weeks. Take, for example, the law that established now that you give allowances to all past governors and everything. Sir, were you there in the public hearing? Within 2 weeks, didn't you hear that bill passed first reading, second reading, at the end of the day, public hearing, it became a law.
But it's been repeated now.
Just one state government and another state also said they will look into it. But however, the end product of it is this: when a politician wants to do something, it doesn't take 2 weeks. Yes. Now you have told us that you are looking at the police matter for more than a month now. Sir, what does it take? Sir, does it take no, see, I'm a scientist. Yes. I'm a scientist by profession. Yes. Now, see, it doesn't take me to go to the sky to say, okay, 5 naira move to 10 naira, 10 naira move to 20 naira. What are we doing for the past 2 months, 3 months that the police allowance has become an issue? But if the politician wants to increase his allowance within 1 week, you have that template. But have you said that? On moving forward, solving the insecurity matter, there are many issues that we must look at. Not just the police welfare alone. Yes, it's part of it. But just like I said, that restructure the system in such a way that it become a community thing. Secondly, one thing that has given rise to insecurity in this country is no inclusion of social and economic aspect of the people. When you don't include people socially and economically, this is what you see. Now, over the years, we've seen a system where there is no social inclusion, there is no economic inclusion. So you have set of persons running the affairs of the government in a recursive manner, over and over again. The same people, when they leave, their brother comes, or if they leave, their sister comes. Now the same people, just like that is just now when he was saying but that's something like that. What that means is that we don't congregate to a particular place to discuss, but we have the same thing in mind. Now, all those things, when you start pursuing a goat right now, sir, when you start pursuing a goat, there is a stage you will pursue that goat. The goat will turn to you. That's a goat. We call it goat because there is no sense. That goat will turn to you. Yes. And that is what is happening right now. They so much pursue their citizens. There is no inclusion financially. There is no inclusion economically. There is no inclusion educationally. Now, we are saying crime will not increase. Yes. Students have been at home for how many? Almost a year now. Yes. Now, if those people are actually busy with their academic activity, will everybody be on the road to fight?
Thank you, Doctor. We'll come back to you. Apostle, yes.
Talking about
this is the last lap.
The way forward.
We're still talking.
Yes. First, let us tell ourselves the truth. Yeah. State police will be a good solution.
So, are you not in support of the community policing?
State police will really help a lot, because the idea of a governor does not have control over the commissioner of police. Now, if a governor gives directive to the commissioner of police, then the IG will not give another directive. Is a major problem. Okay. Because if you see what is happening in those states now, and God's grace, the governor we have here, he's doing well. Yeah. If this governor has 100% control over the commissioner of police, I tell you the truth, the result would have been better.
Thank you.
Would have been better. And a lot of governors would have done better when it comes to security. The major security problem we have is that this federal issue. Yeah. Now, a lot of state governors, almost all the state governors does not really have control over the security, but they are, according to law, is a chief security officer. Yeah. But the truth, what we are saying is different. Nigeria is supposed to be a federation, but what we are saying, there's a great difference. It's different from what is on our constitution. Now, and two, the police has to be encouraged. The job of the police needs to be attractive. Okay. So that people with masters can decide to want to join police, because what they take home, the children of police officers should be proud of the job their father does. Because a lot of people, so many people in police force, as I speak to you, they just join because nothing to do. Exactly. A lot of people. And that's why you discover that there are too many bad eggs in police. Because the job is not attractive. Even if you say you're a police officer, if you go to a bank with your police ID card, they will not even honor you. I'm telling you the truth. You go to bank and say you're a police officer, you drop your ID card. It's not even respected. They will tell you, go and get us your ID card. I'm telling you, because I have facts about all these things. Now, the job of a police should be attractive. The government should speak the truth. They should do the right thing, because it's just like we are being played with. We are not being taken serious, mostly from the federal. That is the gospel truth. Because a lot of governors, they really have a lot of things to do, but they are not given the chances to operate. Okay. Now, and again, we the people, the electorate, also need to join the police to do something. For example, the police are not spirit. There are things that might be happening in your locality. Report to the appropriate quarter. Don't cover it. We must, that's why you see from the beginning I said we must work together, we must be part of it.
Collective effort.
Collective effort. It will bring, like a doctor says something about being reactive instead of proactive. Yeah. It's a major sickness that the system is suffering from. Until when we hear something happen there, before they start running there. No. At least every police officer is supposed to be entitled to a good car. A good car, good accommodation, living well. People with brain will want to join police force. Because now, somebody will be looking for a job, no job, nothing to do, opportunity. Let me just and that's why when they join. Listen, and again, I think another good advice, all the political actors should not be going with police officers, except the governor and the deputy governor. Because a lot of them also use the police officer for very funny things. They make you, they treat you as if you are no human being. I'm a police officer. Now, therefore, all those political actors, they should go without a police escort. Yes. So that, you see, when they are going without security, they will remember their community.
A country of over 2 million people.
Thank you. Mr. Asiam, your closing remarks.
The truth of the matter is that we have to go back. When everybody talks about restructure, see, we're just playing. You know what I mean? I'm happy our northern brothers are beginning to also think about it. They have power, they can do whatever they want to do with it. But we out here, we're as mad as hell. They should hear us. We cannot tolerate anymore. And that is why you saw what happened. They have a different agenda in the north, which, if it spills, it will be worse than our own. We are able to say all these things now, react here, because of education. Most of our, not most, a good number of our persons, our people here, are very educated. So that's why they know right and wrong and all the rest of it. But we have a worse situation with our northern brothers there. They are not educated. One day they've been so educated. They're about maybe 30–40% educated. The more educated you are, the more you can react in your community to government. Government was not expecting this. The government was thinking that they were smarter. The government cannot be smarter than these young boys who are computer literate. Anywhere you go today, anywhere in Europe or America, you are not computer literate. There's nothing you can do. It's like a kuturu. You know what they call kuturu?
No, I don't know.
No, okay, a leper. Okay. A leper in the north.
Yes.
So our people must calm down. You see, they believe they are superior than us or to us. They are not. Illiterate, most of them are. They are not doing the real thing that the young men here are doing. Computer a guy on the Eiffel Tower, you want to come and suppress them. You cannot. If you do, it's for a while. You see, these people keep recycling themselves. The politician, the Inspector General of Police, there is a Police Service Commission. The IG is fighting the chairman of the Police Service Commission. IG is not his job to appoint a police officer. No. But I know.
Yes, that is before the court.
No, listen.
It won't be right for us to comment on that.
It's not whether right or wrong.
Yeah.
When you have a board, the board, it says the rules for management. That's exactly what it is. It's what it is. So our people will sit right, do what is right. Not just to placate them because of what happened just yesterday. You must improve on it. You must encourage these young men. Lower the ages for contesting positions, because these young we are archaic now. I went to college I went to university in the 70s, early 70s. There are boys going to universities now. What they know, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? They can sell us, your age, yes. So let them not think that we are stupid. We are, our common people, they are going to, there will be, something must happen. So it's dynamic, dynamics of change.
Thank you,
It will happen.
Thank you, Mr.
Both north and south.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's do what is right now.
Thank you.
So that we can
A quick one, because time is not our friend on the program. I know that given the time, we have a lot to say, but closing remarks in 30 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Rosa. The disdain nature to which federal government is handling insecurity matter or security matter is an issue that everyone needs to talk about. So we need to confront them by our words, by our actions, and looking at it both from adequate and inadequate aspect of it. However, when there was issue in the Niger Delta, the government led by Yaradua, we knew what he did, and he brought calmness. Now the reason is this.
What he did, you need to tell the people.
The
government brought amnesty, and that actually calmed the people.
And the production of oil increased. Now to me, I will still say, government actually, they are aware of what is happening and they know what to do. So I want to beg government, please let us drop our pride if we must do something to make this country move forward. Some of us have said, even when we were 14 years old, that we will not leave this country. If our brother is making it here, we will make it. Thank God that God has taken us thus far. But however, where we are going is still more. We need to create a legacy for our people to follow. So moving forward, government, please, President, expedite action on some policies that will make state government to be active in their work. I'm a very objective person. If our state governor is doing the wrong thing, I will still be here to tell you this man is very wrong. But however, so far, the government that we see, if you look at the road issue, it's only federal government road we complain much about. You see state government working. When we talk about security, please give state police a chance. And let also see if that model will work. If it doesn't work, we say amen and look into another model.
Closing remarks, Apostle Elvis, your closing remarks on the program today? I
want to advise the youth, there is no headway for crime.
Okay.
No matter what, I want to let you know that there's a great future ahead of you.
Yeah.
And please, the government should be proactive, not reactive.
Okay.
And I want to also talk to the government, the federal government, the state government, to take our youth serious, so that what happened before now will not happen again.
Thank you. We must commend our youths, the NSAS protesters, even the president commended them that they have a right to make a demand. But some other persons hijacked it and created problems. Well, my discussants have explicitly made their points, and I know that relevant authorities will heed and make Nigeria a better country for us all. I want to thank my guests for their wonderful contribution. Do have a wonderful week ahead. Bye-bye.